Hey traders, I didn't get a chance to do my recap for last week. I had to go out of town, so I sent out an email over the weekend letting you guys know that it would be delayed, so I'm just now getting a chance to get that completed. So I put together the spreadsheet actually last Friday. So I'm just going to go through it as if this was last Friday and the trades that I took last Friday. I'm going ahead and calling it the end of the month for September just because last week was the last expiration week in September. The expiration for this week is October. So the trades that I took earlier this week that were still technically September, I won't cover those until I do the recap for this week. Because again, I don't consider those as being part of my September trades. Okay, so for last week, I had that Amazon spread that I had been rolling. I initially had a 5-point wide spread that I got $1.17 credit on, and then I rolled it. But when I rolled it, I had to widen the spread because I wanted to be able to lower the strike prices. So I was able to lower it down to the 30, 10, 3,000. And then I rolled it again and kept the same strikes and was still able to get a credit. I actually would have been okay if I hadn't have rolled it because for that week, Amazon actually closed above the strikes. I just went ahead and did it because I thought Amazon could potentially close in the money, and the fact that I could roll it and keep the strikes the same and not have to widen them anymore was really what prompted me to do it. So when I rolled it last week, I got a credit of 11 cents. And you can see I would have taken a $1,700 loss if I had not have rolled it, if I'd have just closed it out. And then based on the closing price of the spread last Friday, I would have lost $700 if I'd have closed it out at the end of the day last Friday. AMD was one that I had been rolling a few weeks. I was able to close it out last week for overall profit of $480. That's including the initial credit and the rolls. You can see I closed that out for 15 cents. Match is another one that I have been rolling for a few weeks. I started at the 110 strike price, was able to get it all the way down to the 105, getting credits all along the way. So my total credits minus the cost of closing it out of 0.3 gave me an overall profit of $582. And again, you can see each week, if I would have just closed it out instead of rolling, how much money I would have lost. So I saved myself from taking some pretty big losses on those earlier weeks by rolling the trade, sticking with it, and finishing off with a profit. RKT, that was one that I started at the 25 strike price. Last week, I just kept it at the 24.5 strike to still get a credit of 5 cents. And as of the close of last Friday, I would have lost around $2,800 if I closed it out. Apple's one I've been rolling for a few weeks, so I've been able to get it down to the 122.5 strike. I paid a small debit to roll it down, and you can see as of the close last Friday, I would have lost about $6,000 if I would have closed that trade out as opposed to rolling it. And then Etsy, again, another one had been rolling for a while. I was finally glad to get out of that one last week. I started at the 123 strike price and got some really great rolls, got it all the way down to the 112, and that gave me an overall profit of $800 total for the initial credit and the rolls. And you can see, again, I would have taken some, pretty decent losses if I would have closed these out earlier. If I would have said, you know what, in that third week, I don't want to roll it anymore, I would have lost $3,900 if I'd have closed it out. But instead, I got an $800 profit. And the last trade I had for last week was a 0 DTE SPX trade. I sold the 3,300, 3,305 call credit spread. I did this just like an hour and a half before the market was going to close. You can see I got 75 cents for that. I didn't close it out. I let it expire. It expired worthless. So I got the full credit of $525, and I did 7 contracts on that one. So for this trade, I've seen a couple comments over the last few weeks saying that the 0 DTE trades are risky and that I shouldn't be doing them. And I saw another comment where somebody was saying that, I was having to do these trades to make my profit look better, to build my subscriber base, which I thought was kind of funny, which is not the case. I've been doing these trades for a while now. Even if we look back at my trades from last year, you can see I can only go back 365 days in my brokerage account. But you can see in October of last year, I was doing SPX trades. And you can see there's a total of 106 trades in the last 365 days. So, this isn't something new I've been doing or something that I felt like I had to do to try to make my profits look better in a given week. I'm just trading the way that I've always traded. I'm not trying to trade differently because now people are following my trades. I trade the same way that I always have. And yes, these trades can be risky, and I'm willing to take that risk, as I've said many times. I'm willing to take some of these gambles, if you would call it gambles, because I have the profits to do so. And it wasn't just a random guess, or wasn't just kind of a flip the coin and make a decision of what I wanted to do in this trade. I actually put the trade on for a reason, because when I looked at the open interest was highest at that short strike, and stocks tend to pin to the strike price on expiration day that has the most open interest, especially with SPY and SPX. So for the week, my total profit was $2,387. And you can see if I were to close all those positions out last Friday, I would have lost $9,700 by not sticking with the trades and rolling. So I will do my recap video for this week, probably sometime this weekend, and I'll go through and I will update on some of these trades. For example, the Amazon trade, I closed it out this week. So like I said, I'll do my recap for this week, hopefully sometime this Saturday or Sunday. But for the entire month of September, which again, for September, I'm only considering the weeks that had an expiration in September. So you can see my total for the month was $6,837. And if we look at my totals since I've been doing the email alerts, you can see I've made $50,000 since the beginning of May. And my account was roughly around $42,000 when I started doing these alerts. So I've over doubled my account since May. I've gotten a few questions again about when I'm going to have my alert service going. It's just taken a lot longer than I had expected. Just work has been really swamped right now and just haven't had the time to finish everything up. So I'm hoping things are going to be slower for me next week and I can really focus on getting that up and running. But I will continue sending the email alerts out for free until I can get that up and going. Thanks.